Hello there, dear friends, and welcome once again to the Relaxed Fantasy Review. Today, we're going to be looking at a subclass of the Barbarian, straight out of Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. This one definitely gave us a bit of a surprise. Barbarians are one of the least magical classes out there. Of all the main martial classes, of all the non-spellcasters, they were the only ones that didn't get a spellcasting element added in. Fighters got Eldritch Knights, rogues got Arcane Tricksters, and monks got the Way of the Four Elements, but the barbarians got nothing of the sort. Very rarely do they ever interact with magic, because their main attribute, their rage, stops them from concentrating on spells, even if they have them to cast. So there's not much that you can do magically as a barbarian until Tasha's gave us the Wild Magic Barbarian. Similar to its cousin, the Wild Magic Sorcerer, this barbarian is built around chaos and about the untapped potential of magic that lives inside of a person that is a little uncontrollable. How does that work mechanically? Let's find out. Starting right away at 3rd level, when you choose this subclass, you get the Magic Awareness feature. Magic Awareness states that a few times per day, you can detect magic effectively. You learn where magic effects are, you learn what school of magic they're from. Unlike the Detect Magic spell, though, this doesn't have any longevity. You just do it as an action, and then it's gone the next turn. So it's very brief. You gain a brief glimpse. If it worked like Detect Magic and gave you like a 10-minute sense for magic, that might be different. But as it stands, it's just like a quick, oh, there's something there. I give it a 6 out of 10. It's more of a ribbon feature. The main reason we're here is for the Magic Surge, or the Wild Surge. The Wild Surge power states that when you go into your rage, you will randomly roll on the Surge table. There are 8 options on this table, as opposed to the 50 that are on the Wild Magic Sorcerer, but it's much more subdued. There's nothing here that will intrinsically hurt you or your allies, nothing that will disable you. Everything has a use. Sometimes it's granting you temporary hit points, sometimes it's giving you an extra bonus action attack, sometimes it's making your weapon magical, sometimes it's giving you the ability to teleport. Whatever it is, the ability lasts during your rage, so it's something that just makes your rage better. Of course, you're not always going to get the thing you want. At least everything you get is somewhat useful. I say it's a 9 out of 10 power. If you manage to score the exact thing you want, personally I'd be aiming for bonus action teleporting. Basically you get Misty Step for free during your rage, which is awesome. But other than that, it's kind of more niche and more situational, and being a random table, that's not the greatest thing, but it's still a 9 out of 10 because it's going to help you somehow. Now, at level 6, when you get your next upgrade, you get the Bolstering Magic Power. The Bolstering Magic Power states that a few times per day, you can do one of 2 effects. Either you can apply a Bless-like effect, where creatures get to add a D3 to their ability checks or saving throws. This D3 lasts for 10 minutes, so it's very similar to the Bless spell. It's just not a D4, it's a D3. I'm not sure why they chose a D3, but whatever. You also have the ability to go to a spellcaster, roll that same D3 once, and grant them a spell slot equal to what you roll. So that's a 1st, 2nd, or 3rd level spell slot that you can just give to a spellcaster for free. Your wizards, your sorcerers, your warlocks. They're gonna love you. Now, this is great for bolstering your party, and that's what a lot of D&D is about, and barbarians often don't have that much ability to do that. So this granting extra magic or extra blessings, I say 9 out of 10. Good job, Barbarian. Now, at level 10, you get the Unstable Backlash power. What this states is that when you are raging and you have a Wild Surge active, when you take damage, you can choose, it's your choice, to use your reaction to roll again on the Wild Magic table. This ends the first effect, and immediately the second effect happens. So if the effect is an instantaneous one, it just triggers, even though it's not your turn. So this is a nice way that you can use your reaction to do something. You just don't really get to choose what it is. You randomly roll, and then you have to stick with it if you choose to roll. You can choose not to and just keep what you've got. I think that this one, the only reason I would use this is if I had gotten one of the worst effects on the table, and I was like, anything would be better than this, then I'd roll. Otherwise, I'd probably just stick with what I had, simply because I don't want to risk getting a worse effect. The fact that it does take effect immediately is nice, but I still think this is a 7 out of 10. You're going to be taking a lot of damage as a barbarian and constantly switching what your effect is, hoping to get a better one. You just run the risk of getting, the ones you don't want over and over again. But all of this changes at level 14. Of course, we had to wait till the high levels to get the best feature. When you get Controlled Surge, whenever you roll on the table, either when you enter your rage or when you are hit and get to re-roll, you roll twice and get to choose which one you take. And if you roll doubles, so you roll the same thing, then you can choose from anything on the table. And this is what we want. We want more control over the wild magic powers within us. This power is your 10 out of 10 power. This is the one that states, I am the master of wild magic. And whether it's when I start my rage or when I get hit, I am going to have a much, much better chance of choosing the power I want. And that power is going to buff me in combat no matter what. Like, as long as I am raging, I have magic. And a barbarian, even with a limited selection of the wild magic table, gets that 10 out of 10 for the controlled surge. That turns this up to 11 and makes it a phenomenal choice. Of course, what this means is that if you're in a high-level campaign, wild magic's great. If you're in a low-level campaign, you're going to be rolling the dice. Now, of course, barbarians are great anyway, but this subclass adds just that little bit of magical chaos. I'd say overall, the subclass is an 8 out of 10. It's certainly not the best barbarian, but if you're someone who wants to try and imbue your rage-induced, reckless attack, tanky barbarian with just that little spark of chaotic magic, this is absolutely a subclass I'd recommend. If what you want is solid numbers that increase your tankiness, increase your attack power, just making you a better barbarian, this doesn't necessarily do that. So, pick your poison, wild magic, 8 out of 10. This has been the Relaxed Fantasy Review. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe down below, and keep your eyes peeled for more subclass reviews coming down the line soon. Have a good one, my friends.